Last call for Aqua Division. Train leaving imminently.
Yep, it's me. Let me out, please.
Where's your ticket?
Ticket. I host the recap, motherfucker.
You need a ticket to enter this train to talk about the Aqua Division.
Do you need my left fist in your mouth if you're gonna keep asking questions?
This is the last one of the season. If you don't have your ticket, you're not gonna make it in.
It's not gonna be an Aqua Division if I don't recap it.
I think I need to call someone. Hello, Mom.
Roll.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Aqua Division. This is the final week. We're in week 7. We're going over the final matches, and we actually already know who's going to playoffs. By the way, I'm Cabral, coach of the Hashlinging Aegis Slashers. Joining me,
it's the Rock, coach of the Honchkrows Hunters, and yeah, Aqua Division is, like, for who's making it to playoffs is said and done. We already know. Top 4 is moving on, bottom 4 is not. But there is still some wiggle room in where people are seated, as long as you're not named Scoots.
Yeah, as long as you're not named Scoots. Scoots being at a 6-0 at 29, it does not matter if he gets 6-0'd by... Who's he fighting this week?
Sliggoo Sluggers, I believe.
Oh, yes. Okay. Cool. If he gets 6-0 by Alter somehow, then it does not matter. His diff is way too high to even fall to second place, even if Bick, who fights Nick this week, gets to his 6-1.
Yeah, like the difference in differential is just that big. So Scoots is first place, amazing. So we already have at least one match, which only matters for one of the people involved.
Yeah.
But we have another match that's just like blood sports. Jason versus the Woody.
Yes.
Yeah, Jason versus Woody. Like neither of them are moving on. It's just playing for pride.
Yep. And the other match is Mass and the Grass Valley Greninjas, and it's interesting. So Bick and Nick fight. That will determine second and third place. Potentially fourth, depending how badly one of them loses. And Grass Valley Greninjas, if Mad Capture gets a solid win on Mass, could bump up to third place, but not second.
Yes, there is some wiggle room that can happen here, but again, for the most part, Aqua Division's pretty set in stone. So I'd say let's just hop into these matches, chop them down.
The first one
see what the end result looks like.
Yeah, the first match we got is Alter of the Sliggoo Sluggers versus Scoots of the Portland Palafins. I keep wanting to say Dumplespoon's Army, but that's a not current name.
That's dead naming Spoot's team. You can't do that.
But on Scoots' side, we do see Clefable and Latias, who have been staples on his team and have done really good work for him. Drapion Marowak is a really fun bring. We haven't seen them this season that much. Actually, I don't think we've seen Marowak once. Maybe once?
I believe Marowak came before.
Okay. Lycanroc Midnight had not come before, though.
Yeah. Lycanroc Midnight is a weirdly Scoot staple for some reason. He seems to really like that Pokemon, even though it's kind of bad. But
how dare you? Look at him. He's so edgy. He's got that little mohawk. He's so cool. He's got that Tim Turner hair going on.
Depending on the angle, can also be an emo-over. Meanwhile, on Alter's side, we have the single worst Paradox Pokemon in existence.
That's okay. You know what? Ironthorn has really good attack stats. What else do you need? All you need is a good attack stat to win, right?
Okay, why is Rampardos not kill lead then?
Okay, well, hold on. You fair. We also
if anything, Kartana should be kill lead, but whatever.
Yeah, actually, that's so fair. We do also see the Fish again, Leafeon, Ninetales, Gouging Fire, all just really good Pokemon. And Sableye is also here, which does Prankster stuff really well, but there is a Dark type on Scoots' team.
Yeah, and it's important to remember because people tend to forget this little fact. Dark is immune to Prankster moves being used against it specifically.
Yes, so you can use Recover, you can use I don't know, not Roar, whatever else targets yourself, Sword Stance, I guess, Nasty Plot, you can use all that stuff, but anything that targets your opponent specifically.
Yeah, let's hop into the match and see why we're specifying these little details.
Yeah, we do have an Ironthorn's lead Quark Drive, which is nice and all, but I wonder if there's better items to run than just Quark Drive all the time. Sometimes, with as high an attack stat as Iron Thorn's Hand has, you might not need it.
Yeah, it is a nice lead for Alter because Regieleki only having electric and normal type moves for coverage.
Yeah.
It is immune to that dual, it's not even stab, just like that attack combo.
Yeah. Crazy, by the way. We get the 2 and then a crit on the second one, but no more because a single one more Rock Blast would have killed that thing, and that would have been incredible, actually.
Yep, but now 2 recovers later, and this Latias is just back at full health, and it's like nothing even happened.
Yeah. Alter coming in to do some Wish Protect stuff just to get down the, get down Latias.
Yeah. I do like the callouts on like, oh yeah, you know that that I'm going to like protect this turn, but I know that you know that I'm going to just flip turn instead.
Yeah,
it's a good read. It doesn't end up doing anything because this thing still dies to a Dragon Pulse.
Yeah, which is kind of a shame. Confusion Ray comes out though, and this hits itself and does die to toxic damage, and I love that.
Yeah, hell yeah, good job, Sebalai.
Yeah,
nice confusion on this Marowak. It does get through confusion. Confusion's like a 1 in 3 chance.
Yeah.
Now, I believe I will verify.
Yeah, go ahead and verify that. We do see Drapion come out, and we mentioned the dark thing being a thing. Alter, we later do see realizes, oh, that's how Prankster works. Alter thought Prankster worked as a means of you could not click the move. It was not an option to click if you had a dark type out. But that's not the case. It's just anytime you click it, you're just immune to it. So he has learned that. But, for newer players to VGC or to just Pokemon general, they don't get a lot of Prankster interactions. So it's not a common one, I feel like you see all the time.
Yeah. It's a 1 in 3 chance. It used to be a 50-50 up until Gen 6. That's fucking insane.
That is crazy.
Also, apparently before Gen 5, like Sturdy would not would prevent you from killing yourself with
explosion.
No, not explosion. With Confusion Self Hit.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, even though like it only blocks Oko moves, or it's supposed to.
That's actually really fascinating. Yeah, it's actually kind of a shame because there might have been a way to get some momentum again with this. So, for instance, we see, Drapion here, like taking a really big hit from Solar Blade. In fact, this could have Terra Grass and done a little more damage. But the other thing is that Ninetales was not a max speed Ninetales. If it was, it could have hit Drapion, set up Sun, Leafeon come in, and then actually clean this up. Because Leafeon still does well into the other Pokemon here with the right moveset.
Yeah. And like this is just like a simple like thing of just as soon as something like becomes or is like threatening to become a problem, start thinking, okay, what is my out to this thing?
Yeah.
In this case, like Drapion, like while it is a decently fast Pokemon, it's not the fastest thing around. So check, like because you've seen it use a setup move, you've seen it use Sword Stance, so it's not Choice Scarf.
Yep.
It hasn't boosted its speed. What can you do, or what can you have that's still faster?
Yeah.
And in this case, like Leafeon and Sun is faster, and a max speeds Ninetales also would be faster.
Yeah, and Ninetales would just do some nice chip. Weather Ball, not Solar Beam. Weather Ball would do some really nice damage, and you can just click on that, and you'd probably do near half of its health, and Leafeon can come in and just get rid of the rest of it so easily. And again, with Sun up, if you're Heat Rock, Leafeon goes really hard into most of this other team. I'm looking at it, and it's like, there's no priority on the rest of the team. I don't know if Marowak gets Sucker Punch. It might, but even then, that's not going to kill Leafeon.
True. I mean, it would have to be a knockoff into Marowak. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's enough, because Marowak is pretty defensive.
It is pretty bulky.
And Regieleki might, because it's full health still, I believe, like it might still be able to get a...
cheek paralysis off.
Screen up, yeah.
Or screen, yeah. Screen or paralysis would probably come up. But again, it's options to think about, because, you see, sometimes you get towards an end game and you think all hope is kind of lost, but you play right. Leafeon Ninetales on Alter's team actually do quite a bit just by themselves.
Yep, but regardless, Drapion sets up 2 sword stances and busts through the remainder of Alter's team.
Yep.
Scoots with that, winning the match, 5-0.
Getting a clean 5-0.
Next match.
And now, Scoots, by the way, is setting records. We'll get back to that a little later.
Yeah, we'll get to that, because first we're going to be looking at Jason of the Hartford Honchkrows versus Woody of the Schaumburg Salamences.
Hey, Bastiodon's back.
Oh god, no. I mean, fuck, Jason's screwed.
We do see Terra Fairy on the Caparaja and Terra Dark actually on the Kangaskhan, which I'm a little surprised at. Terra Dark's not a bad option, but it's only really decent into like what, Latios and like I guess Feeny if it's not running a fairy move.
It might be to try and get a damage boost on Sucker Punch.
Okay.
Question mark, I say, staring into camera.
Could be. Not a bad option. But again, at this point, this match, neither player can move on into playoffs, so we can go ahead and start watching and talk about it as we get into the match.
Yeah, like Jason doesn't ever have much variety in the team. We do see two dragons facing each other, and a Dragon Pulse finishes it off, with the funny thing being both of those Pokemon were scarfed.
Yeah.
Woody was like, aha, I'm scarfed. I am faster and I can click a dragon type move to kill you. And Jason was like, I'm scarfed. I know I'm faster. Goodbye.
Yeah. Why does everyone set up whenever Landorus is out?
I don't know. Like, if I had a nickel for every time like people use Stealth Rock in front of a sword sensing Landorus, I'd be fucking rich.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can get a pretty big fake out here.
When he comes out, like, fake out, does some clean chip damage.
Hey, there's a levitator there.
Now all we need to do is, like, swap out, get...
Okay.
No, we just sacrifice Lopunny for no reason.
Okay, cool.
Kangaskhan comes out and shows that it also has fake out, which, like, combined with the Terra Dark makes me feel that this thing has Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, why wasn't this the first answer to Landorus?
Yeah, I don't know. Also, we have three Pokemon left that are weak to fighting, so it's like, what do you do?
The answer is not much. Is you die. Also, I wonder why Axe Kick.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Also, again, why not like keep doing fake outs? Like, you could have sacked someone else and then got a Sucker Punch off and maybe killed Metachamp. It's not that bulky.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Jason just, like, went into Latias, killed a Pokemon, went into Landorus, killed 2 more Pokemon, went into Metachamp, killed 3 more Pokemon.
Yeah. So, but...
the only thing, like, left to say is, like, it's a good Terra from Woody, like, going into, becoming a fairy type in front of the, Latios that you know is locked into a Dragon type move. So,
yeah. Good
job there. Everything else, well, you know... That's the game, baby.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. But Jason getting a nice little 5-0, a nice little W to end his season off on.
I just realized that Woody brought 5 Pokemon all week to Mega Metacham. Only one of them faster.
Yeah. You're so right. And with that being said, we're going to move on to the next match, because I don't know if there's much else to really go off on for the Woody v Jason fight. But we do have Mass versus Madcapster. Again, at this point, Mass, by the way, coach of the Treasure Town Togetics, of course, and Madcapster being the coach of the Grass Valley Greninjas. At this point, since Mass lost to Scoots, there's no possible way for Mass to get into playoffs.
True, but Madcapster is looking to get that W, just to, like, maybe eke out a bit of a better placement in division, because like this match does still matter, like if I believe specifically Nick drops his game.
Yes. Actually
aren't they both 4 currently?
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, so Madcapster and Nick are both 4, 4 and 2, and Bick is
4 and 2. So like,
1.
if one of them gets a win, the other doesn't, then the person with the win goes over the person that doesn't.
Yeah. So
if it's both, then it comes down to differential again.
Yeah, it's going to come down to differential, because if Bick loses, he'll still be at a 5 and 2, and if Madcapster wins, he'll be at a 5 and 2. So
yeah,
it's just a matter of differential at that point. But Madcapster, to surpass Bick if Bick loses, would need really big differential and want to 5-0 or 6-0 Mass, basically.
Yeah, it's not great odds, but like the possibility is there, and if the possibility is there, like you wanna shoot for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of possibilities, Mass with new possibilities with the Pokemon he traded, both Iron Valiant and the other form of Enamorus.
Yeah.
Making full use of them.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Murkrow back again, which is a great Pokemon, and Quillfish is a nice bring. We see Venusaur there, and it doesn't really sit on it per se, but it's nice to have to like not deal with damage and stuff from Venusaur Mega. Magcaps are bringing
it could
the same team that we've seen every week, but that's okay. You know what? It's not broken. Don't fix it. It works. It's a good team.
He's been performing pretty well with it. Nobody's exactly been challenging him on like the weather at all.
Yeah.
People have just kind of been like, yeah, the sun is up.
It's a nice
That's my life.
But yeah.
Yeah, and there's just so many Pokemon here that like want that and get some kind of benefit from it.
Oh yeah. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the match. Excadrill lead, nice option. Mold Breaker's one. Ooh, Balloon too.
Yep. And we see once again Madcapture leading with a booster into Pokemon and being immediately forced to switch out.
Yeah.
And I feel like especially with Mass having Thunderous on his team.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a I don't know, it just throws away the item kind of immediately.
Yeah. By the way, can I just say, fascinating, I just noticed this. Sludge Bomb was clicked into Excadrill with Venusaur. Had Mass stayed in Rapid Spin or, like, Sword Stanced, that would have been a little
True,
crazy.
like it could have gotten Excadrill going.
Yeah.
This has actually made me, like, consider a question I don't know the answer to. What does Mold Breaker do if Quark Drive boosts your defense? Does that just ignore that defense boost? I imagine it does. Because it's not a stat boost that you're getting. Like, it's specifically the ability that's boosting.
But is it... I guess the question is then, is it treated like a stat boost? Because if it's treated like a stat boost, that might be an unaware situation rather than Mold Breaker.
That's a good question, because unaware also, yeah.
So, I think we...
Interesting thoughts being formed.
Maybe people can test these out themselves in the matches to come. Also, that Earth Power just killing this thing is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, Shenlore is not the most sturdy. Like, that Enamorus actually has a decent amount of special tag on.
Good read on the Volt Absorb.
Yeah, I mean, this thing, like, is immune to both the dual stabs there, so that's not too hard of a call to make. But
yeah, that's true.
The Excadrill still got that balloon going, but the balloon pops with a Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah. So we get a Rapid Spin just to get a little bit of speed here.
And Madcaps are actually playing it a little bit slow, going for the Wish play instead.
Yeah.
And Mass taking full advantage with that Sword Stance, and it's now a very fast and angry Maul.
Yeah, and it really doesn't even do that much to Venusaur.
Yeah, I mean, Mega Venusaur is incredibly bulky, but with it gone, it doesn't appear like any of Madcap's Pokemon have their speed being increased in any way.
I believe Walking Wake does, but that got paralyzed earlier, so...
True, yeah, the Walking Wake does increase the speed with Proto, but it's paralyzed, so it's halved anyway. So it doesn't matter. This thing is just fodder.
Yeah.
And after losing 2 Pokemon, Mass, like, completely reversing the tempo of the match by first dealing with the Chandelure, and then sweeping with Excadrill. And imagine if this Pokemon had some innate way of doubling its own speed.
That'd be crazy. That'd be bonkers.
Yeah, thank God that's not the case.
Hey, you know what? That's what Blunder Policy's for, right?
True. What's the least accurate move that's...
Probably like a Rock Slide or something, or like Stone Edge.
God, if it's just Rock Slide, then that's so sad.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. I imagine it's like Stone Edge or something, right?
I mean, like, Pokemon learn like random ass moves that are really...
Maybe it's something to look up. Either way, Mass takes a nice W, at the end of the season, and he gets a nice little 4-0 over Madcapture here. Madcapture at this point now is stuck in 4th place. With a loss, there's nothing that's even losing Nick and Bick, either of them cannot get this low in differential.
Yeah, so 1st and 4th place are now locked. Also, like, the least accurate move Excadrill gets are Fissure and Horn Drill, which are not legal. Besides that, it's Focus Blast.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah.
God bless.
Good run focus blast stuff. That'd be crazy. But we got one
anyway,
last match.
We've gotten to... Yeah, we got to what is, I guess, like the feature match of this week, the one that matters the most. It's Big Mouth of the Blood Moon Bears versus White Loaf of the Bayou Bellibolts. A lot of bees this match got.
A lot of bees in this division.
Yeah, and no Mega Beedrill.
No Mega Beedrill, no. Actually, just the league overall. All the new teams are like with bees. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I love all the bees in small Sunshine State Smallest.
Yeah, the Bunshine Bait follows. But we do have on Big's team, we do see Masquerada. That's come every week. That's such a threat. If you don't deal with it early on, it can absolutely just tear through your team with quick U-turns. We see Diancie here as well, and that thing with the Terror type has proven its worth, I feel like. Honestly, it's done really well.
Yeah, that thing has been a thorn to like everybody facing it. Like another thorn has been like Iron Hand. That thing is like its HP pool is so big that it's just like ends up bulky basically no matter what. And with 140 base attack to back it up and the potential to get Sword Dance.
Yeah.
Very threatening Pokemon if like once it gets going. Fighting Electric is also like crazy.
It's a
crazy good offensive typing.
It really is, because Electric resists flying, if I remember correctly. So you're neutral to flying. You are weak to ground.
Neutral to flying. You are weak to ground. You are weak to Psychic.
Yep.
That might be it. Fairy. You're weak to Fairy.
Oh, Fairy. That's solid. That's a decent move pool or like type pool to be weak to. That's not bad at all.
Yeah. And you're also like gotta be hitting stuff at least neutrally for the most part.
Yes.
Like it has to be like some kind of electric resistant ghost.
The other thing too is it gets like the elemental punches, if I remember correctly, as well, and that's really solid for how high of attacks that it has.
Yeah. And again, like we've said, Sword Stance is a threat. It's
oh yeah,
a lot this thing can do. Very good Pokemon. I kind of want to like try it at some point.
Ooh, that'd be fun. We do see Basculegion here, Mesprit, Dragalge, all of those are fairly staple on Big's team at this point. Glastrier with Poison Terror is really interesting, probably to deal with Masquerada in some way, I imagine. Maybe Diancie if it's like a Terra Fairy still. Or Dragalge.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a good all-around like Terra type to have if you want to like go for defense rather than add up to the offense.
Yeah.
Because especially like on Nick's team, like none of these Pokemon are particularly ground weak. Like you can usually hit them better with like other neutral stabs. And it's like if you're hitting Blacephalon and or Electrode anyway, you're probably killing them regardless. You don't need to do that with Earthquake.
Yeah, probably not. But we do see Electrode here coming on Nick's team as well. Ground Terra. And then we also see Salamence, Blacephalon. Urshifu Rapid Strike is also here. And then we also have, of course, the horse. But yeah.
The horse.
The horse, of course. But with that being said, I think at this point, let's just get into this final match to determine second and third place for Aqua Division. We do have Electro lead.
We have Blue Ball. We have Masquerada, and Masquerada immediately dropping to a Scarfed Electrode.
Yeah, crazy. That too.
Yeah, crazy thing to do. Nick trying to get like threaten out this Basculegion, but unfortunately Big is like, come at me.
Yeah.
And just takes the U-turn and gains momentum back with the
It is
actually damaging Shadow Ball.
It is crazy how much damage that Basculegion did to both Salamence and Urshifu, and that already immediately puts Nick on a back foot, and Big applying pressure has been really solid. Yes, we lost Masquerada early, but he's taking full advantage of, getting a nice read on the rapid spin coming out. Surf doing 85 to this thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, like the rapid spin is like a bit too like predictable there. Big like immediately like sees it coming and swaps accordingly. Yeah. And not only like that, like it gets him back into Basculegion, which is just a huge pain for Nick's team.
Yeah.
And here too, like with the body press reads, and like once again this Basculegion's in, which is not what Nick wants to see.
Yeah, because again, Surf doing a crit of 54%. It's really crazy.
Yeah, the toxic missing doesn't even matter because it's into the already status Mesprit anyway. Firing off the psychic noise to get that roost stopped.
Yeah.
And kind of force Nick into switching once again.
Yeah. And at this point, we get a Citrus Berry though. At this point, we do get Nick on a really big back foot. Most of his Pokemon are really damaged. The rocks are not helping at this point. Surviving a close combat is crazy. Another Citrus Berry.
It is a good it's a second Citrus Berry. Yeah, Nick making a good call going for the close combat over the Surging Strikes, knowing that this thing is a terrible water.
Yeah.
It just is barely not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And the Draining Kiss, because Draining Kiss, I've realized, restores 75% of HP, or of damage done, rather than just 50 like most training moves do. So, like, that's why it always ends up healing so much.
Yeah. So, and at this point, Nick has just lost too many pieces, and Big is just playing it so safe.
Yeah. Nick is hemorrhaging Pokemon, like, swiftly, and, like, the best he's got to deal with this thing is Horse, and Horse eats a Draco.
Of course.
Yeah, even like the crazy high special. Yeah, third Citrus Berry has hit the tower to suppress them. Yeah, Aqua Jet coverage on Bix, and just to like deal with the Blacephalon, also keeping him faster than this Electrode.
Yeah.
And yeah, this Basket Legion just oppressive against Nick.
Yeah,
and
really
like the like unfortunate like plays and reads, letting this thing in too many times, chipping away at too many things.
Yeah, and then the rock chip was also really good. Big just played really safe, and he played on the aggressive side as well. Like again, losing Mascot out early sucks, but clearly the fish was more than enough for the entirely like all of Nick's team. Actually, I think it knocked out most of it.
Yeah, it did really well. Like it is like type-wise really good into Nick's team, like in the first place. But like the way Big played it and just like getting the reads right that he needed to, it just got so many opportunities to go ham.
Yeah. But that's it. That's season 8 of Aqua Division. And there's no more Aqua recaps. That was absolutely the last train. So if you would, Aurora, can you take the top half? I'll take the bottom half, and we'll talk about these results. And then we'll go into a little bit about playoffs, but we're not going to go into detail. We'll explain why a little bit after this.
Yes. Top half. Tell me if you've heard this one before. In first place, it scoots 7-0 at plus 34. And I want to linger on that for a second before we move on. That is the single highest differential anybody has ever held at the end of a main season Double Dip. Before, this record was held by Scoots, also, still, at 32.
Yeah. That's so wild.
He is just, like, edging ever closer to just getting that one season where he just loses 0 Pokemon and goes 7-0 plus 42.
People have to make sure they have an exploding Pokemon, just in case.
I swear to God. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. In second place, we have the Blood Moon Bears at 6-1 plus 18 differential. Next, the Bayou Bellibolts 4-3 plus 6 differential. And finally, in fourth place, the Grass Valley Greninjas 4-3 at -2 differential.
In fifth place, we have the Hartford Honchkrows at 3-4 at +1. Jason ending with a positive dip this season is really crazy. Treasure Town Togetics Mass at a 3-4 at -4. Alter first season 1-6 -23, and Woody at an 0-7 -30. And honestly, it's actually kind of crazy looking how Aqua was towards the beginning, seeing that Jason and Mass pulled themselves up and came to a 3-4, which is a solid differential to have, by the way, win-loss. With 1 and -4 again, also solid differential. It's really not that bad being in the low negatives. I guess the high negatives.
And
I don't know.
Yeah. We did it, by the way. We finally turned Aqua Division weird by having the differential not descend linearly. Because we get a dip down into the negatives with the Greninjas, and then then Jason actually ended up with a positive differential, but a negative win-loss, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
So we did it. Aqua Division turned out to be just a little bit weird.
Yeah, let's go. We're finally part of the pack, but that's it. So we're not going to be going over who made it into the playoffs brackets themselves for playoffs week 1. And the reason for that is we want you to go check out Rocket Magma Skull to see who made it first. When we go into week 1, we'll be going over that stuff, but what we can say at least is kind of how it works. So for instance, Scoots being in first place will fight 4th place of a different division. Grass Valley Greninjas, Madcapster being in 4th place will fight 1st place in a different division. So you can take that knowledge with you into watching the other recaps.
Yes, and the way the numbers work out, one division will, at least in the first round, always miss one of the other divisions, unfortunately. It's just mathematically like how all of this works out. But yeah, like we'll have 4 little quarters of 4 teams each, 1 from each division, the highest fighting the lowest, and the middle 2 fighting each other.
Yeah.
And that all the way around.
Yeah, so we'll have to see, but please go check out Rocket Division with myself and Spood. Go check out Skull Division with Aurora and Nick, and then be sure to check out Magma with Spood and Nick as well. Just don't watch my match.
Very important. There are some good matches to watch in Magma Division, regardless, though.
That is so true, actually.
There is 2 I highly encourage you watching.
Yeah, there's some crazy matches there. But with that being said, thank you all so much for joining us for this regular season. You will catch Aurora and I in playoffs. We will be talking about matches there, and so will Spood and Nick. We will see if that shakes up, though, depending how playoffs goes. But for now, we will see you then. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.